Hello students, in our last class we covered up to the colonial forms, that is the rhizopodial colony. In last class we covered regarding the unicell forms, the colonial forms, that is we started the range of thallus structure in algae where we studied unicell forms, colonial forms, filamentous forms, siphonoeous forms, pseudoparenchymatous forms, parenchymatous form. These are the types where we study in range of thallus structure in algae. In unicellular forms, again we have the four types, that is unicellular rhizopodial form, unicellular motile form, unicellular filamentous form, and unicellular non-motile form. These are the types come under the unicellular forms. The second one is the colonial forms. Under colonial forms, again we have the four types, that is the synovial colony, pelamoid colony, dendroid colony, and rhizopodial colony. In this class, today we are going to study regarding the filamentous forms, siphonoceous forms, pseudoparenchymatous forms, and the parenchymatous forms. Here, in filamentous forms, we have two types, that is the branched and unbranched. Here, branched and unbranched. Again, in branched filamentous form, we have two types, that is false branched and true branched. In again true branched, we have two types, that is the simple branch filaments and heterotrichous filament. Here in filamentous form, two types, that is the branched and unbranched. Under branched, again we have two types, that is the false branched and true branched. Under the true branch, we have two types, that is the simple branched filaments and the heterotrichous filaments. The fourth form is the siphonoceous form. The fifth one is the pseudoparenchymatous form. The under pseudoparenchymatous form, we have the two types, that is the uniaxial and multi-axial forms. The last one is the parenchymatous form. We will see in detail regarding the filamentous forms. Here, as we know, a filament is developed by the repeated transverse division of the cells. As I stated before, how these filaments are formed? These are formed by the repeated transverse division of the cells. Means, if it is the cell, it is going to divide. Again, this cell is going to redivide. Again, this form going to divide, redivide, and they are going to join, form a filament. This kind filament. This is how the repeated transverse division of cells takes place in filamentous forms. Here, the filament may be branched or unbranched. Here, unbranched filaments are present in few groups of algae. Here, unbranched filaments are present only in few groups of algae. The filament may be attached to the substratum, that is example Zygnema udgonium. These are the example where the filament may be attached to the substratum. See, if it is the filament that is attached to the substratum, this is the substratum. This is attached to the substratum. If free floating, that is in Spirogyra. As we know, Spirogyra, that is a free floating. Next, or the form of colony. Colony, that is, best example is nostoc. Here we have the cells, colonial cells, the flagellums. This is in the case of colony form, that is the nostoc or Ocetuleria. Next is the branched filament is of the two kinds, that is false and true branched. In false branching, which occurs is in a scytonemataceae, the trichome generally fragments due to the degeneration of an intercalary cell, after which one or both of its ends adjacent to the dead cell grow out of the parent sheet, giving the resemble of branching. This is in case of false branching. Here what happens? Here the trichome generally fragments due to the degeneration of an intercalary cell. Here the intercalary cell gets degenerate after which one or both of its end adjacent to the dead cell grow out of the parent sheet, giving resemble of the branching. This is in case of Scytonema. Where in case of true branching result from repeated transverse division of the lateral outgrowths produced by a few or many scattered cells of the main filament. What happens in true branching? Here the repeated transverse division of the lateral outgrowths produced by a few or many scattered cells of the main filament. This is the difference between the false branching and the true branching. Here under the true branching, again we have two branched gallery of the two types, that is the simple branched filaments and the heterotrichous filaments. Here the simple branched filament remain attached to the substratum by a basal cell. Here the simple branch filaments, they remain attached to the substratum by a basal cell. In such filament branches may arise from any cell except the basal cell. In such filament, branches may arise from any cell except the basal cell. Example is Cladopora. In case of heterotrichous habit, is the most highly evolved type of filament and differentiated into prostate and erect system. See, this is in advancement. In simple branch, here the branch may be arise from the any cell except the basal cell. But here in the heterotrichous, they are highly evolved type filament where differentiated into prostate and erect system. Here we have the two types, that is the prostate and the erect system in heterotrichous habitat, where this mostly highly evolved type of plant body showing a good amount of division of labor is characteristic of some groups like Heterophorales in many Phaeophyaceae, Rhodophyaceae, and in some Chrysophyaceae and Dinophyaceae. These are the characteristics in some groups like a Chitiophoralaceae, in many Phaeophoraceae, Rhodophoraceae, and in some Chrysophyaceae and in Dinophyaceae. This type of algal thallus is made up of two distinct parts, that is a basal or prostate creeping system and an erect or upright system. Here this is two distinct parts, that is a basal or prostate creeping system, or the second one is an erect or upright system. In basal, this is the case. Here creeping, prostate creeping, where in an erect or upright system this is the condition, wherein erect or upright system. The prostate system is attached to the substratum, grows apically and gives rise to a numerous photosynthetic and rhizodial filaments, where these are attached to the substratum. This is attached to the substratum, where in prostate system. In Fistichilia, the rhizode filaments sometimes penetrate the substratum. This is the exceptional case where sometimes these filaments penetrate the substratum. These penetrate the substratum, where in erect system developed from the prostate system and is composed of one or more and usually branched photosynthetic pigments. Here, prostate is the basic. Even erect system, this is developed from the prostate system. It developed from this prostate system, where we see the later advancement like a branches that evolve from the prostate system. Here, usually they are branched photosynthetic filaments. Which one? Erect system. The example is Ectocarpus, Cypinacelia, Chytopeltis, and Drepanodilopsis. These are the examples for these kind of system. See, first one is the Oregonium, the Spirovera, Elotrix, Ostoloria, Nostoc, Fischlia, and Ectocarpus. These are the filamentous thallus organization. See, here these cells are arranged next due to the cell division. Where these are attached to the substratum. This is the filamentous thallus organization. The next form is the Siphonoceous forms. Here, a Siphonoceous thallus is a multinucleate and lacks septation, that is the septa. Here, these are multinucleate and lack septation except during the formation of reproductive organs. Here we see the septa, that is only during the formation of reproductive organs. The simple organization is in the form of small unbranched vesicle. Here the simple organization is in the form of small unbranched vesicle. It contains a central vacuole with the chloroplast and nuclei in the peripheral cytoplasm. This includes what? The central vacuole with the chloroplast and the nuclei in the peripheral cytoplasm. The example is Vacheria, Botryddium, Chleurepa, Protocypon. These are the examples for the Siphonoceous forms. Here, so you can see these are the multinucleate forms. These are the multinucleate forms. These are advanced one compared to the previous one. Next comes the pseudoparenchymatous form. Here the term pseudo means false. The plant body gives the appearance of the parenchymatous construction. Here pseudo means the false. The parenchymatous present, here the body, the parenchymatous present gives just shows the false presence. Here that is the pseudoparenchymatous. The parenchymatous cells are present but they are false one. The pseudoparenchymatous thallus is a secondary development. Close association of cells is a result of interweaving of filament. Here these are secondary development. Close association of cells is a result of interweaving of filaments. Interweaving means connecting. One filament are connect to the other. This kind. They are connected. Interweaving means to connect. The secondary filamentous structure develops in many genera. The pseudoparenchymatous thallus may be developed as uniaxial and multiaxial. Here, this pseudoparenchymatous form can be developed in two forms, that is the uniaxial and the multiaxial. In uniaxial form, the thallus develops by the branching of only one filament. In uniaxial form, this thallus develops from the branching of only one filament. Example is Batrachospermum. While multi-axial form branches of more than one filament are involved. Here only one, here more than one filaments are involved in the formation of the thallus. The example is Polyciponia. See the diagram here. A and B, these are belongs to the Protractospermum, whereas C and D that belongs to the Polycyponia. Here see, this is enlarged form. These are enlarged forms where we can see the presence of node, internodes, glomerule and carposporangia. Here, these glomerule, these are nothing but a cyme that is condensed into a head-like cluster. This is head-like cluster. This is a cyme that is condensed into a head-like cluster. Where carposporangia, this is a sporangium that contains carpospores. This carposporangium that contains carpospores. Here, this carpogonium consists of a swollen basal portion which contains an egg and which is known as carposporangium, and it is an elongated receptive part. This is elongated receptive part. This is flask-like structure, which is in flask-like structure. Here this is development. This is the carposporangium. How it will develop? The carposporangia develop on the terminal ends of the short laterals. The terminal cell of a lateral divides into 4 cells. The upper cell develops into the carpogonium. This upper cell develops into the carpogonium. See, this develops into 4 cells. The upper cell is termed as the carpogonium. Next, in Polycyponia, here you can see the apical cell, the presence of the apical cell. This is uniaxial form. This is the multi-axial form. Example for uniaxial form. This is for the multi-axial form. Next is the parenchymatous forms. Here, the parenchyma is a simple permanent tissue composed of tin-walled, closely associated cells which has arisen by the cell division of a common parent cell. As we know, these are characteristics of the parenchyma cell or parenchyma tissue. Parenchymatous thallus organization is also a modification of the filamentous habit. This is the parenchymatous form is, it is a modification of the filamentous habit with cell division in more than one plane. The cell division in more than one plane, because we know these parenchymatous cells are very active. That is the meristematic tissue. These are meristematic tissue which have the capacity to divide and redivide quicker compared to the other form of the tissue. The parenchymatous thalli may be leaf-like or foliose, tubular or highly developed structure. This parenchymatous thalli may be a leaf-like or a foliose, tubular or highly developed structure. Flat foliose or tubular thalli is developed by the division of the cells in 2 or 3 planes. These tubular thalli develop from the division of the cells in 2 or 3 planes. Example is Ulva porphyra. Next, the example of tubular thallus is Scytosiphon, and of the complex thallus is Sargassum. The Sargassum thallus is diploid and sporophytic and differentiated into holdfast and main axis. Here, the Sargassum is diploid and sporophytic and differentiated into holdfast and main axis. The holdfast helps in the attachment of the thallus to the substratum. This holdfast helps to attach the thallus to the substratum. The internal structure is also made up of parenchymatous tissue. These internal structures are also made up of parenchymatous tissue. These are the examples where we quote for the parenchymatous form are Ulva, Pyrophora, Scytosiphon, Sargassum, Fucus, Dictotia and Laminaria. Here, these are the structures. This is the first A1, the sargassum thallus. Here we see the leaves, presence of air bladders, receptacle. This is the main axis which is attached to the whole flask. What this whole flask will do? It helps the main thallus to attachment. This whole flask helps the main thallus to the attach. Here B1 is the transverse section of the main axis. If we take the transverse section, we will see this form. That is the presence of the meristodon, the outermost layer, the meristodon, the presence of medulla, innermost layer, the cortex region. Here the cortex region, the presence of cortex region. These are the cells. These all are made up of the parenchymatous tissues. Here, this is the vertical section of leaf. In vertical section of leaf, we observe the presence of epidermis, the outermost layer, the innermost layer, that is the medulla, that present between the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis, the presence of sterile conceptacle, the presence of paraphysis, and the presence of the cortex. Here, what are these paraphysis? These are sterile hair found among the reproductive structure of many fungi, bryophyta and algae. These paraphysis we see mostly as the reproductive structures of many fungi, bryophyta and algae. Here the paraphysis provide protection and in some species may be involved in dehiscence. In some cases, these are involved in dehiscence. See, these are the paraphysis. These are sterile hairs which are attached to the sterile conceptacle. This is the conceptacle. These hair-like portions, they are attached to the conceptacle. Then, what is this sterile conceptacle? This is also known as a cryptoblast. The sterile conceptacle, it is also called as the cryptoblast. This is many flask-shaped cryptostomata or the sterile conceptacle. This is flask-shaped, that is this kind. The flask-shaped cryptostomata or sterile conceptacles present on leaves which contain many sterile hairs or the paraphysis, which contains the sterile hairs or the paraphysis. The paraphysis also called the sterile hairs. These facilitate the uptake of the nutrients from the seawater. What it will do? Sterile conceptacle, it facilitates the uptake of the nutrients from the seawater. This is regarding the structure of vertical section of leaf in sargassum. This is regarding the parenchymatous form. So, we studied regarding parenchymatous form, pseudoparenchymatous form, siphonoceous form, filamentous forms. In today's class, we covered regarding filamentous, pseudofilamentous, pseudoparenchymatous and parenchymatous. Total, we covered the range of thallus structure, that is from uniaxial forms, colonial forms, filamentous forms, siphonoceous forms, pseudoparenchymatous forms and the parenchymatous form. This is regarding the range of thallus structure in algae. In next class, we are going to see regarding the classification of algae. How the algae are classified, on what basis they are classified. We are going to see next class.